Welcome everyone. So myself Kashyapa, I am working as assistant professor in Vignan Institute of Technology in IT department. Now I am going to explain the data structure subject which is available in the second year first sem for R18 students. Okay. Now let us see once the overview of the syllabus. So in the first unit we will discuss about the data structures, the main our core subject, our subject name is data structure. So we will discuss about the data, why the data structures we are introduced in this second year, and what are the main data structure types we will discuss in the first unit. In the second unit, the advanced one. So in the first unit we will discuss about the basics of the data structure. So the data structure basics like linked list and linear data structures, like those we will discuss. So in unit 2, the advanced one of the unit 1, those are the dictionaries and hashings. Dictionaries and hashings will be discussed in the unit 2. In the third unit we will discuss about trees. These are the non-linear data structures. So we will discuss what is non-linear and what is non-linear in the upcoming classes. So the unit 3 is the trees, about the trees. It is a non-linear main data structure. So data will be stored in the branches format. So in the fourth we will discuss about graphs. It is also one of the non-linear data structure. In the final fifth unit we will discuss about trace and pattern matching. So in pattern matching, if I have a route, if I want to find a route between A and A to B, I have to find the latest path or shortest path. So how we can find the shortest path, like Google Maps, we will discuss in the pattern matching. So this is the overview of our data structures class subject. Let us go to the subject. So before going to discuss about the data structures, at least we need to know at least one programming basics. So we have a lot of programmings like C, Java, PHP, C++. So we have Python. We have a lot of programs. So any one program, if you know the basics of any one program, then you can understand the data structure. So data structures is nothing but advancement of any programming language. In data structures, I will discuss about how we are organizing the data. That is main thing of data structures. So first, before going to the organizing data, first I need to know about the programming and programming basics. So if you learn any one program like Java, C, C++, Python, any one program, then you can learn data structures very easily. But according to our 2-1 syllabus, I need to discuss the data structures with the C. We already discussed the C in the PPS. It is available in the first unit, so for first year. Am I right? So in this lecture, in this video lectures, the complete next upcoming lectures, I will discuss the data structures topics with reference to the C, because this is our syllabus. Okay. Now, so before going to data structures complete topics, let us review the C basics once again. So I already previously told you from upcoming classes, the data structures main concepts will be discussed with the help of the C programming. Okay. So let us review once again. Let us review the C basics. It will be a quick review. Okay. Now first I will introduce what is C, then the structure of C, variables of C. These are the enough things to discuss about the data structures. I will go to the data structures further classes. Okay. Now, what is C? When it is started in 1970s in Bell Laboratories, this C language is developed in 1970s, A&T Laboratories. So the main head of this project is Dennis Ritchie. So the Dennis Ritchie will be considered as a father of C language. So it is developed by the group of people, but it is led by the Dennis Ritchie. So that is why Dennis Ritchie is the main person for developing a C language. So C language is a structured oriented programming language. So one step, the next step, the third step, it will be a structure. So first step I should write, then only I can go to the second step, then only I go to the third step. Like that I have to write a program in C. So that's why the C is a structured programming language, and it is a high level language. In the programming language we have a lot of levels like low level, middle level, high level, intermediate level, right. So in this high level language, it is a high level programming language. Now this where we are using the C. So C we are using at present also we are using C. See, the lot of members think like the C is a old language. Now right now we are not using the C language. No, that is very wrong. So nowadays also we are using C, like system applications like operating system and compilers, and application softwares like programming languages and games. See, operating systems, the most of the Linux operating system is completely developed by using the C. The compilers, so for compiling any program, so if I write a program, if I want to execute in a mission, I have to compile the program. Is it understandable by the mission or not? So those compilers are must for every programming language. Those compilers are written, the most of the compilers written by using C. So for you using the another programming language also you need a C. And the programming languages, so the C++ and Java, those all are also developed by using the C language only. So you are seeing some other programming language, but the back end we have developed by using the C only. And the game, some of the games also developed by using this. So like this, in a lot of applications, in lot of areas, C is used. So it is not it is a old language, but it is still we are using the C language. Now let's come to the structure of the C. In C program you have a 4 blocks. The first block, it is a pre-processing directories. Pre-processing directories in other languages you can call it as a packages or I can say packages or modules, or you can say anything, the pre-directories. So the pre-directories are nothing but already some programs are developed for one function. So if I want to use that function, I don't need to create my own program for that particular functions. I can simply call the pre-directives. If I use these pre-directives, I can access those functionalities. Like if I want to read a input from the user, I have to write some code. I have to accept a input from the user. So that is not necessary to write a input getting from the code. So those complete the printf and scanf. In the C programming we have a printf and scanf, am I right? So printf and scanf, the functionalities. So printf means printing the data to the user, printing the data on the screen to the user. How we are printing? We are already have a pre-directives. So pre-directives are nothing but if I have any functionality, which is used for further, then I can say it as a pre-directive for using the next purpose. So pre-directives are predefined functionalities. So global variables, that means anywhere I can use these global variables. We have already discussed in the previous classes. Right now we don't use we don't have any importance here, global declarations. Now I am only discussing about the C basics. Okay. Now the next thing is the main block. Here it is the main thing, it is the important thing in the C programming. Whatever the program we have written here, it will be executed. So it is the main thing in the C programming, the main block. Whatever the operations you want to perform, you have to write here. So other functions like the basic functionalities will be right here. If you want to add another functionalities, then I can write here. So this structure is used in the data structures very regularly. So if you go to the data structures main class, you can see this type of structure. So the first one is a preprocessed directives, which can be used for further use, or these are the predefined functionalities, global declarations, use it for this main function or other functions. So main function, other functions. If I have 2-3 functionalities, if I want to use the variables in both main and other functionalities, then I will use the global declaration. So that is global declaration. Anywhere I can use in the program, anywhere I can use. So main, it is the main core of the C programming. Whatever the functionalities we are doing, the main thing you have to write here. Other functionality, if I want to perform any other functionalities to the program, I want to add any other functionalities to the program, I will use this block. Now in this, as I said, this pre-processing and main block is the mandatory block for C program. These are the mandatory block for the C programming. Okay. Now, so okay, I have a structure. Now where I can write? So for writing, I need a compilers or editors and compilers. Am I right? So if I write a program in one place, it has to be compiled and generate a mission level code. So for that purpose, I need a C editors and compilers. So for writing a C programming, I need editors and compilers. So common uses are code blocks and turbo C and some online compilers. You can directly write a program in online compilers and you will get the code. You will get the result. So my online compilers like Tutorials Point, W3 Schools, we have a lot of, sorry, not W3 Schools, Tutorial Points, Java Points, these are the online compilers, some of the online compilers available in the internet. And the code blocks and turbo C, you can download these softwares in your local machine and you can execute the programs in your local machine. So for that purpose, the code blocks and turbo C will be used. You can find the downloading in this URLs. So the main part of the C programming is we have to save the C programs with .c only, then only it will be considered as a C program. So I will write a code in these code blocks or turbo C softwares or editors. I will save as a .c and then I will execute. Okay, I will explain one of the process how we are writing a program in code blocks or how we are executing in the end of this class. Okay. Now let's discuss the key points. So as I explained, the C program starts from the main method, and the directives are already explained. What is a directive? If I have a functionality which can be used further, then I can use as a directive, pre-processing directive. So that will be .h. If it is a directive, .h. If it is an normal program, .c. And after completion of a program, I will compile and execute. If I compile successfully, then only I can execute. If it is a successful compiled, then the .exe and .o files will be created for every C program. So every C program contains 3 successful program, .c main program, and it will be converted into a mission object oriented programming, object code, that is .o, and it will be converted into exe, which can be executed in a mission, So every C program contains these 3 parts. Okay. Now when go to the programming, so comments, what is comments? So I have write some program. If I want to say some comments to the reader, whoever reading that program, I want to say some comments like it is a print statement, here I am printing, here I am reading the data, like this. These are the comments. To display just what we are doing. Okay, those are the comment sections. So comments, I use double slash, then I can create a single comment. If I have a multiple lines of comments, then I will use backslash star and end with the star backslash. So here the slash, star and star slash are used for multiple lines, only double slash is used for single line comments. And for printing the statements on the screen to the user, I will use printf, and reading the value from the user, I will use scanf. Those are the available in the pre-directive like studio stdio.h, pre-directive stdio.h. If I simply invoke stdio.h, then I can use printf and scanf. So, and C programming contains 32 keywords. Keywords are nothing but these are the reserved words. If I use that word, it represents some functionality in the C programming, like if is for conditions, for is for looping, while is for looping, int, float, like this we have 32 keywords in a C programming. Already we discussed this is a structure on the pre-directive, global variable and main block and other functionalities. Already told you these two are unnecessary. Unnecessary for initial programming, it is not a mandatory thing. It is not unnecessary, it is not a mandatory thing. But the pre-directives and main blocks are mandatory for every program. Mandatory for every program. So, if I see a simple program, as I told you, for printf and scanf, I need a stdio.h pre-directive. Am I right? So, here hash include stdio. If I stdio.h is a pre-directive. For including this pre-directive into my programming, I will use hash include. It is the line for including a pre-directive. Hash include less than, and here my directive and greater than. Okay. Now, I am not using global variables. Now, I am writing a simple program, just hello world like that. Only print statement I will use. And here the main method, I am printing a method like welcome learners, and I do not have any other functionalities. So, this is my complete program. Hash include stdio.h, it is a pre-directive, and void main, I am printing a message to the user. So, this is my program. If I execute this program, simply welcome learners. So, I want to print welcome learners, it will be printed like this, welcome learners. Okay. Now, as main our topic is the data structure. So, it is regarding data. Okay. How I am reading the data into a programming. So, initial cases I will use variables. Initial cases I will use variables. So, variables are main thing to store the data and manipulate the data. So, if I want to perform some operations on data, I will use variables. The extension of variables is a data structure, and every variable must be some specific type. So, if I want to store a numbers, it is a integer. If I want to store a letters, then it is a characters. Like that, it is a different type of variables. Each and every type is a each and different recognition or different declarations. So, that is why the common one is the variable type and variable name. So, if it is a integer, int is the variable type and name of the variable. Now, okay. Is there any conditions to create a variable? Yes. Is there any conditions to create a variable? Yes. So, those are the conditions of this. So, okay. Before going to the conditions, now let us discuss about the type of variables, the common types of variables. So, one thing is character, int, floating and double. So, char is, if I want to create a char space variable name, integer int space variable, float means float variable, double variable. So, character to store values, alphabets like A, B, C, D, integer values 25, any numbers. If I have a point numbers, I will use floats. So, float contains some limitations, single perception floating points only. If I want a more floating points, then I will use double. These are the common data types we are using a C. So, basic program is basic data types. We have a lot more other data types also. Okay. So, if you go to the size, character is one size, integer is 2 bytes and float is 4 bytes, double is 8 bytes. So, each and every byte is nothing but 8 bits. So, 8 bits of data, the one character stores 8 bits of data. So, the space occupied in a memory, it will represent the space occupied in a memory. So, okay, now I am going to discuss about the rules for creating a variable. So, how is there any rules? Yes, I have some rules. What are the rules? The variables names must contain a characters, a numbers and underscore. The special symbol only underscore, the remaining symbols I cannot use. So, only character, numbers and underscore. If I say what is the variable character set in C, the character set in C for variables is, so small a to small z, capital A to capital Z and 0 to 9 and underscore. This is my character set for variables in a C programming. So, I can use characters either small or capitals, or I can use only numbers, or I can use underscore. Okay. Now, it must start with character or underscore. So, the variable is correct, underscore variable is correct, these are the valid creations, but the variable name must not start with 1. Okay, as a IT student, your roll number is starts with 1201, 1202 like this. So okay, my roll number is 1201. So I will create 1201 variable. No, not like that. It will not happen. If it is a CSCV person, so 501 variable, no, not happen. Why? Because it is started with a number. Number starting is not valid in C programming. So okay, like that if you want to create, so okay, variable 1201, variable 501, like that you can create. But 501 variable, it is not a valid creation. So variables can be created by using a character or underscore, starts with a character or underscore, but you can use a numbers in between the variable. Okay, no. And is there any rules? Yes, it must not use a reserved word. What are the reserved? I already told you 32 keywords we have. Those 32 keywords should not be used as a variable name like int, float, if. Those should not be used. Okay. Next, any special symbols? I have already told you only underscore will be allowed. The remaining other whatever the symbols you have in the your keyboard, those will not be used in the variable name. And it is a very case sensitive language, like the capital M is different from the small m. So here this max and that max is very different. No. Next. These are the rules for creating a variable. What are those rules? Already discussed. The character set is characters, numbers and only underscore. The variable name must start with a character or underscore, should not start with a number, and any keyword should not be used for creating a variable name. Now, so for printing a variable on the screen or reading a variable from the user, I have to use some specifiers. Those specifiers explain to the user the type of data we are reading or we are printing. So for character %C, for int %D, for float %F, for double %LF, large float means that means. So C characters %C means I am reading a value character or I am printing a value character. Like that it will explain to the compiler or the machine. So these are the special specifiers. The specifiers explain the type of the data we are going to read or we are going to print. No. So already explained, told you about the special specifiers. So if I want to read print a integer values, if you consider a is a integer value, then %D. So printf %D and variable. So it explains to the computer like, so a is a integer type. And here also, so whatever the data user giving the data, that data should be converted into a integer. So the user must enter a integer data. So %D means integer data. So scanf %D ampersand a. So a is a integer type. Like that it will specify to the computer or user. So one small program for explaining a variables, this one. So I have a already pre-directive, that is studio.h, and the main method. In main method first I declared a variable int a. Now I am giving a statement to the user like, okay, now this is my first variable program. Okay, like that I am giving in the printf. See here, it is a comment statement. It is a comment statement. Next, I am giving the instruction to the user like enter a number. So if you give instruction only, then only user know what to do. Otherwise, he will be blocked. He don't know what to do. So that's why I am giving a printf enter a number, and whatever the number he is giving, that will be read by using the scanf, and finally I am ending the program by using some message. That message will be printed by the printf. So this is my sample variable program. Let us see how we are writing this program in a code blocks. Okay. Now I am going to open code blocks and I will write this program in code blocks. Let us see how it will happen. See, So code blocks, if you open the code blocks, I already explained to you how we are reading where we can download a code blocks program. Already explained in the previous program, previous slide. You can go to that URL and you can download the code blocks from there, and you can install. After you opening the code blocks, the display will be like this. Here it is a project space. Here whatever the programs you are writing, those will be displayed here, and the program code you can write here. This is the code area. It is a project area, it is a code area, and these are the operators or operations we can use in code blocks or options. Okay. Now I am going to write first program. Go to file and go to new file, select a C program. Here I am writing a program. So hash include stdio.h. It is a pre-directive, already explained it. Am I right? Let me zoom it. Okay. Okay, you can see now. Okay, now hash include stdio. Here I am writing a main function. As I explained, the double slash means it is a comment line. It is a comment line. Now I am writing a void main. So main, here I am writing the welcome learners. So printf, here I will write the whatever the message I am going to display on the screen, that will be displayed here. Welcome everyone. Okay, I will save. I will choose the path there where I want to save, and select the path, and I will give you a name with, I will save with the .c extension. After saving with the .c extension, see the colors are changed. All right. So directives are in the green section, and the void, these are keywords. The void is a keyword. It is in blue color. All right. The normal statements are normal black. So brackets are red. So that will be a special feature is available in the code blocks. So each and every coding is different. Okay. Now, okay, I want to execute this program. So before going to execution, as you know, first I have to compile. There I have two options in a code blocks. One, I can build and run, or if it is already built, then I can directly run. So I have two options. You can choose any one. So I have two options. Now I will build and run. I have two options. So first I am going to build and run. See here, if I run the program, here the code is executed. Now what is my code? The printf statements, welcome learners. Okay. Now where it is stored, if you click on the right, if you click the title and give the right click, you can see a open containing folder. If you open that one, you can see in the folder we have three files. One is .c, one is .for object, one is .exe. So three files are created in that folder. If you click the .c, it will directly execute. Okay. Now let's see another program. I want to create another program for variables. As you know the drill. So first I will create a I will write a directive. First I will write directive. Next I write a main block. Now my directive is stdio.h. Next I am writing a main function is my comment. The next one, main method, void main. Okay. Now here I am writing I am declaring a variable, that is a is a integer, the print statement. So for displaying the message to the user, like this is my this is my first C program, first variable program in C. Okay. Next, I need to read a value. I need to read a value from the user. So before going to read, I am giving a message to the user like, okay, now enter a integer value. Like that, I am going to display to the user. Then he understand like I need to enter a number. Okay, now I gave a print statement. Now I need to read whatever the value given by the user, I need to read by using the scanf. So it is an integer value. So in brackets I will put percentile d. So percentile d and ampersand a. Ampersand a means it is a address of a, where a is stored the some space in the memory. In that space this a will be stored. This a will be stored. Now my program is ended. I am going to write my programming some simple message to the user that my program is ended. So you can close it. So okay, I entered value is percentile d. So I displayed the value, whatever the value you have entered, the user entered. Now I am going to execute. If I execute, see, enter a value, right? So enter a value. Now if the user is entered the value, it will be printed like this. It will be printed like this. Now this is the program how to write. This is the way how you can use a code blocks. Okay. Now let's go to our PPT. Then we will finish this two. Okay. Now we write a program in the code blocks. We executed for one sample program and one variable program. Okay. Now let's conclude this session. In this we discussed what is the syllabus is available in this subject, like the data structure subject. And before going to the data structures concept, I want to introduce